name is Contreras, and I'm here to interview Mr. Vega from Justice Humanitas Academy. And welcome, Mr. Vega.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. You are bilingual, correct?
Yes.
How has that benefited you?
It's benefited me immensely, considering I'm a teacher and the communities that I want to teach in. The majority of the staff is, not staff, but the majority of the students are bilingual. Their families are bilingual in the same language I speak, which is Spanish. And so then I have very much benefited by being bilingual. There have been multiple occasions where I've been able to help staff members by helping out to translate. There's other times where I've been able to establish a rapport with parents because I know Spanish, and sometimes I think being able to communicate with certain kids in Spanish also gives me, has been an added benefit, not just to me, but to those students.
Since you only speak Spanish and English, have you ever run into anyone that doesn't speak those two languages?
Yes, I have. I had the opportunity to study in France, and some friends of mine from the same program, we went to the movies, and I tried to order a soda, and the clerk didn't know English. And in France, because it's neighbor Spain, sometimes you could say parlez-vous español. And a lot of times they'll know. This person didn't know English or Spanish, and so I was in a tough situation where I was very limited in the French that I spoke, like very limited. And so she didn't know a word of English, and so just for me to communicate was very difficult, just to order a soda. And it didn't matter how many times I pointed to the cup, she didn't know what kind I wanted because the fountain was in the back. So how I resolved it was I just ended up not having a soda. I just ended up not, because it just became ridiculous, and it was hard for me, and I didn't want to get frustrated with her because it's not her fault. It wasn't her fault. She just didn't know English, nor does she have to. And so I'm like, okay, this is just going to be a moment. I won't have a soda, and I'll buy one later, and it was fine.
Now that you think about it, what would have you done?
What would have I done? You know what? I probably would have been more prepared and taken an English to French translating book, like a little pocket book. You know what I mean? Knowing that I'm going to be in a country where I don't really know the language, I would have been a lot smarter. I was there for like 3 weeks. Maybe I could have been a little more proactive, and I could have said, hey, look, man, ordering food, saying thank you, simple things. I could have actually learned those in advance before I went, practiced them on the airplane or something. So there's things I could have done to prevent something simple like that from happening. So yeah, definitely I could have looked more at myself and what I could have done.
Alright. So, do you know anyone that has trouble communicating with others because they don't speak that language? Our languages?
Yeah, my grandma doesn't know English, and she's been in this country since like 1964 or 1965. And I still remember being in elementary school, and I would walk home or walk to my grandma's, who lived next door to me anyway, and she would take care of me. And sometimes when solicitors would come and they wouldn't know Spanish, my grandma would bring me over, and I was like in 2nd grade, and I would be translating for her. But now that I'm older, she's older, and she knows when we're talking in English, like she knows what you're saying. She just chooses not to learn to speak it. Like that's just her thing, and it doesn't get in her way. She goes shopping every weekend with my mom and my aunts, or she goes to Las Vegas, or she goes traveling here and there, and she's up and down and enjoys all the benefits of living in America. She just, for some reason, just says, I'm not going to learn another language, and I don't need to. And so she does it, and what's amazing is that she just does it by choice, you know what I mean? So it's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't know your grandma never learned it. I thought she would have.
No, she didn't. She didn't never learn, and she just refused. She just doesn't want to. My grandpa did learn it. Like he labored a lot, and he did a lot, and he learned it because, where he worked, he had to communicate with people who didn't know Spanish, and so he took the opportunity to learn it. He didn't learn it till like the 90s, but he ended up learning it. But yeah, I have other uncles that don't speak English, but they taught themselves English. You know, these are my aunt's husbands and stuff. And so, you know, they speak it with an accent, a heavy accent, but they know it.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you, Vega.
All right, thank you very much.